Hello. If you are interested in going to the store and purchasing an entire personality, boy, I've got some great news for you. This is a JBL speaker product review lineup, including the Flip 6, the Charge 5, and the Extreme 3. All right? Before we go any further, I just want to say it's ultimately the song you play on the speaker that determines how great it sounds. This is past its last legs. But I could play a song on this that would sound better than a song on this one, alright? So it ain't the size of the speaker, baby. It's about the song you're playing. You could cheap out and go UE, and there's songs on there that still sound pretty great. But they're just more songs that sound great on JBL. Now, starting with the Flip 6, we'll talk about the highlight of it. Ergonomically speaking, this guy is great. This guy is fantastic. My stepmom got it for me as a present. It's a very affordable speaker. It's a great gift. Okay, it came with like a little string. This is an aftermarket string, I guess you could call it. This is not the original string. But what's nice about it is it doesn't want to swing around. I can swing it, and when I do that, it's bad. But that's just because it requires so much force to actually swing it. I'm kind of just like gently going like this, and you see it kind of wants to maintain almost like this center of gravity, which is straight down at all times. So you can clip this to a backpack. You can put this on bike handlebars. You can just put it on your wrist. Okay, you can't put it on your wrist while you're holding the bike handlebar because that'll cut off your circulation. You can't really do that. But there's just a lot of things you can do with it, and it works fantastic. Okay, so ergonomically speaking, this one is very sound. Ultimately, though, what will let you down about it is the battery life. We're talking about maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes, probably an hour and 45. So you have time for part of an activity, getting there, or getting back. One of those things. The radius is great for you. This is like having headphones, basically, but you can hear and still have like awareness. The boom is good enough for you, but anything outside your personal bubble really isn't going to hear it as well. It's just going to sound like it's really far away, and it's not going to be very impressive, okay? So, the best way to look at this, it's like a very excellent alternative to headphones. All right. It's got one USB-C port right here. It's got the power button. It's got the Bluetooth button, okay? But it doesn't have like a play or a pause button. So you're gonna have to, oh, actually, sorry, it does. It's just on this face. So it has two different faces. All right, that kind of psyched me out for a second. The play pause button's right here. So you can hit this button to play or pause it, or you can double tap it to go to the next one. This button over here is part of the app, and we'll talk about that app later. And of course, it's got its volume controls, okay? And then there's kind of like a readout, I think, right here for the battery life, but it basically only is active when it's charging or when the battery's about to die. But I find even when it's in the red, it has a decent amount of life. It's probably, it'll go in the red at probably like a little less than 20%. Now we're going to get to the charge, okay? And the charge is very ergonomically challenged. Because it's not cylindrical like the Flip. The Charge has this sort of like teeter-totter shape, okay? With each of these products, when they are in use, you want the woofers exposed, okay? They each have two woofers, and you want them exposed to the air. And you could do this, or there's different arrangements, all right? So you're gonna have to figure out like where to put it and then how to set it up. Once you get to wherever you're going, right? So it might take some figuring out, but this one has no mount. It has no mount for a harness, or it has no ring for a string. Okay, it's just, and if you put it like I put it in like the side pouches of a backpack to like, you know, like the water pouch thing, and the problem with that is it becomes so much quieter. Like it doesn't, and the sound quality isn't quite as crisp or clear. Sound quality though for all these, very crisp and clear, very crisp and clear, very excellent. Okay, but that reduces it, so you'll have to take it out of your bag, set it right here, figure out which way to face it. And I don't really know how to describe which way the sound comes out. I don't really know. I think it might come out like be directed out of the JBL thing, or maybe it is actually nearly omnidirectional, and there's just this like this place for the teeth. These teeth kind of start immediately falling off, falling apart. Or maybe just this part right here. Yeah, maybe just that tooth. But like this one just a little bit too. Like immediately. I have barely used this one at all. Okay. It's got the link button for the app. Those, instead of having those two faces, it's got one face. It's got the play, pause button. Alright, and then instead of just having the USB-C, it's got USB-C, and then it's got a USB port, okay? The USB port is hidden behind this little door. Now, I've submerged this, not for too long, but it worked just fine. It doesn't work underwater. It's not like a sonic device or sonar. It doesn't really work underwater that well, but you dip it in the water, take it out, there's no problem. I don't know how it works with USB-C exposed like that. Like I saw that on the box it said waterproof. I was just really like, I didn't know. Okay, but you can use this. Maybe this is why it's called the Charge. You can plug things into the Charge and charge them. So it's like also like a mobile battery. So if your phone's running out of juice or something, you can do that, which is pretty awesome, right? But yeah, I don't know how you can submerge it. Now, lastly, if you want to know what $700 looks like, it's these two right here. Okay. Ergonomically speaking, if you drop them, it will break the hinge for the harness. All right. If you drop it on the hinge, if it actually hits the bottom, it'll be fine. Okay. The teeth on this one are very sturdy. No issues, and they have had some very high velocity hits on the ground. But it's actually nice that this falls apart because it'll prevent you from being strangled by your own strap. All right. On this end, I tied it in a knot, and the strap and the mounting ring is strong enough. I had somebody who was bigger than me try to take these off of me, and like try to rip them off twice, and they were never able to do it. So. Very sturdy. Ergonomically speaking, they are all right. You know, they do weigh a lot though. Like you're gonna have to, if you wear two of them like I do, it'll take a toll on your back. It will hurt a little bit. It has boom and it has radius. You can fill basically the whole parking lot.